Hello, everybody. Welcome to Trusty's Vintage live sale, Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Gonna have another fun-filled evening, hopefully, of Trusty's Vintage live sale. And there's my alarm reminding me of the time it is. Thanks for so many of you signing in early. I actually was going to sign on really quick and decided to see if I could get something else to come up. Now we're going to see if I can get it to work, because one of the people in the chat already is Dawn from Just One More Dachshund Rescue, and I cannot figure out what I wanted to do. Here we go. Just One More Dachshund Rescue was successfully got another rescue today, and there, I can't remember now, there he or she is. So so Just One More Dachshund Rescue. This is their Facebook page. It is a Dachshund Shih Tzu mix, which I didn't realize was a thing, but that definitely looks like a Shih Tzu in the face. So for those of you who might be new to the channel, may not remember that or know that back in December, the Trusty Huckster Mercantile and Just One More Dachshund Rescued, we did a fundraiser. Well, Trusty did the fundraiser for the rescue. We did that in November, and we actually raised $3,500 for the rescue. And Dawn, who is in the chat, is the head of that rescue, and they have had a number of rescues since that time. And this is the newest one. I can't remember, was this today, Dawn, or was this yesterday? Looks like it was 1 hour ago. So yeah, this must have been today. So congratulations. And I think she just said Nikki. Officer Side Nick, who died. Oh, that's right. I remember you said you were going to do that. And if it had been a boy, it would have been, I think his first name was Brian, I want to say. But that's a cute way of doing it. Nikki, named after Officer Side Nick. So that's nice. Nice that you did that. So that is the newest rescue from Just One More Dachshund Rescue, and encourage you to follow them on Instagram, follow them on Facebook, and she posts all kinds of fun pictures. Dawn herself just got a new dachshund, not as part of the rescue. She got a puppy who, if I remember right, is 3 months old. I can't remember now how old it was. And she's been posting about how the older dogs are getting annoyed by the puppy, which I just think is hilarious, because we did that when I was married. We did that as well. We had an older dog and got a puppy, and we thought the older dog was plotting the puppy's death. So you never know. It's all fun. So anyways, thanks everyone for joining me this evening. A little side trip down the Just One More Dachshund Rescue memory lane there. But thanks so much for everyone. We got Mickey in here from, why did that not just show up? From Thrifting in the Holler. Nate is joining us. Nate will be our designated driver again this evening, so he will be watching to see who the first person is to claim items. So your internet needs to send things all the way to New Zealand, so we get to have some fun tests there. Rebecca, representing this great state of Maine, is in the house. Thank you so much for coming back and joining us, Rebecca. Katie, representing Florida, is in the house. I see I shouldn't start this path because now I can't remember where Judy lives. Welcome, Judy. Can't remember where you live. Kim, I believe, from Oh My Vintage. Kim, I think, is New Jersey. And if you do not follow, actually, you should be following all these people's channels. Katie does some great content and also posts the calendars to help people keep track of all of the events that are going on in the vintage community. But one of those events, because we were talking about the Dachshund Rescue back in November, part of the fundraiser was 35 different vintage resellers, including vintage and vinyl, number of the popular and new sellers within the vintage community donated mystery boxes to one winner, and Kim from Oh My Vintage was the winner. So 35 mystery boxes were shipped directly to her, and she has now been posting unboxing videos on her YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe to her channel. I think so far she's done 4 or 5, but she only does 5 in a video, so she's more than halfway done, but she's still got several left to do. So definitely be watching Kim from Oh My Vintage. Linda has joined us again, and then she just flew right by. So where did Linda go? I'm using StreamYard, so sometimes things don't stay in the order that they first showed up in. Aaron, representing Collection the Vintage, representing our resident Canadian so far for the evening. And very important to show, with her being here as well as Katie, Next week, a week from tonight, there will be the return to the 4-seller 1 sale event, the 4S 1S event that I started last year. We will have another sale next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, same time on this channel. It will be a joint sale with Aaron from the Collection Vintage, Katie from Vintage and Vinyl, and I literally, my head just completely emptied. I can't remember now who the 4th person, Beth from Sweet Treats and Pretties. Those are the 4, and myself, obviously, Trusty Extra Mercantile. We will be the 4 sellers, so make sure you join our sale next week. We will do a round robin event. They'll all be individual sales, no auctions or offer ups. We should be able to get through between 15 and 20 items each person. So you get a little bit of variety, but they'll just be shipped from different places. We don't combine for shipping. But this evening, I do combine for shipping. So anything you buy tonight will be shipped from outside Chicago. Welcome back, Frenchie Mom. See, we're talking about Dachshunds, and Frenchie Mom showed up. Thank you for joining us again, Frenchie Mom. Joni, another resident Canuck, is joining us for the evening. So thank you, Joni, for joining us. She will be in a sale at some point, and she's also going to be doing one of my deep dives once we can get it scheduled. So definitely be on the lookout for all the different things that are being scheduled. Sue Goloveski, thank you so much for joining us. All in the Addicts Treasure, I think you might be a new one for you. So North Carolina is now represented. Thanks so much for joining us. Cheryl Ross has come back. Michelle from the lower part of Illinois. So welcome back, Michelle. Actually, Dawn is from central Illinois herself. She lives in Maryland now with her rescue, but she had family in, I think, the Bloomington. I think she went to U of I. So we've got some Illinois roots here, including myself. One of the early joiners, Jeffrey Ross, with a beautiful, is that a lassie? Is that a collie? Maybe a Sheltie. No. I'm not sure. So Jeffrey, you might be I think that might be a new name for me. So appreciate you joining us. Halem is here, which means Melody can't be too far behind. They will be joining in. There's Melody. They will be joining in with the sale. Thanks so much for joining us. Nancy's here. She must be on a break or maybe have an evening, part of her evening off. After my sale, make sure you hang out and catch Nancy's sale on, and you can see her channel there, This Overstuffed House. It's all one word. That is her YouTube channel. And she's got some great items shipping out of near Philadelphia. Jeanette back. Nettie is here. Angela's another name to follow because she also creates the calendar. She does it weekly, and then Katie puts them up daily. So it's kind of nice to have both of those. You can follow on Instagram, and Angela and Katie both have YouTube channels as well. So you can catch things that way as well. Judy has jumped over from Tim's sale earlier. Or he was doing a premiere. I'm sorry, he wasn't really doing a sale. Lisa's back from Moonstruck Vintage. Thanks so much, Lisa, for joining us back. So we're already at 7 minutes after. I apologize if I've missed anybody. Auntie Christie's here. Robin A, maybe you're new. I'm not sure. Helen Booty, thank you for coming back. Annette's coming back. She's also in Illinois. So we got a lot of Illinois. I Heart Old Things. I can't remember where you were based. I want to say Texas, but no. You're Bren. You're Hawaii, right? Let's see. Joni, Reclaim Treasures by Mary, another reseller that donated to the fundraiser, the Dachshund fundraiser. She also has her own live sales. Hers are on Sundays, so you can always catch her. And okay, I think I'm caught up. So for those of you who might be new, I did see a couple names. Pretty much all Beth from Old Beth, Texas is here. The way my sales work, pretty much the way most of the other sales work across the internet. The only difference is so you know in advance, I just don't do auctions. So I don't do offer up. I don't do auctions. I just give you the price, and that's the price you pay. So I will show you an item. I will give you that price, and then I will give you the item number. You enter that item number into the live chat. Do not enter it into the comments. Enter it into the live chat. Live chat's better than top chat, so you have a better chance of seeing what's actually going on. And Nate, again, is going to be calling the shots tonight. So the first person that Nate sees in the chat is the person who will claim that item. So There's always discussion about internet speeds and things like that. In general, if you're just refreshing your screen pretty often, you'll actually have a pretty good chance of getting it, because I don't have a huge channel. So you don't have tons and tons of competition. So you have a pretty decent chance. But I have introduced a new item, and I'm going to do it again tonight, right out of the gate, as an early bird treat for those of you who are signing on right on time. What has become popular, if you're following a lot of the other channels, is the idea of mystery boxes. They were introduced by Fatbird Finds. They started doing them. Again, we did them with the fundraiser and collected 35 of them and got those donated. That Oh My Vintage is opening them. And they're always very popular. It's always fun. The way I do them is I price them, again, very similar to Fatbird Finds. I always price mine at $15. And I will always put between $25 and $30 worth of merchandise in there. Sometimes they're still tagged from where I had it listed, priced for my booth. Other times I'm just kind of winging it. Sometimes it's more. I want you to have fun opening it up, but it's only $15. But it's $15 plus shipping. And as Auntie Christy can verify, I made a mistake last week because I pre-packaged one of the mystery boxes, and it actually ended up being a fairly heavy one that had to ship to California. So suddenly I had this, it was a really expensive mystery box, which is no fun. So I redid her box so that she didn't have a super heavy one. I'm now not going to pack the box in advance. I'm going to wait and see who wins it and make sure that the shipping cost for it is a reasonable cost, because we want this to be fun. So it'll be a $15 box. You will pay $15 plus shipping. But again, what will be in there will be anywhere from $25 to $30. I think one of the ones I did last week, the week before, had about $35 in it. So you just never know. It depends on what mood I'm in. So tonight, right out of the gate, my very first item is going to be the mystery box. So the mystery box is $15. The way I do it now, though, to try and accommodate those who feel that it's unfair to do first claim, I will give you the range of the item number. So not only do you have to be the first one to enter the item number, you don't know what the item number is. So I'm going to give you that range. You just type the number, and you can type as many as you want. You have to type your number, hit enter, then type the number again and hit enter again. You can't just do a whole string of numbers. I will be watching for the number. Once I see it, I will announce what the number is. Nate will refresh his screen, and we will verify who the first person is, because in some cases the StreamYard's order is a little bit different than maybe what you or Nate might be seeing in YouTube land. So $15 is the price, and the item number is between 60 and 70. So give me a number between 60 and 70, and the first person that I see will claim that item. So we've got between 60 and 70. And I need to turn off my volume while I follow. Claim that item. Oops, I inadvertently turned on my emergency SOS. That's not good. Okay, so I saw the number. We got to figure out how to turn this back on. I turned on my emergency SOS, and now it won't let me turn it back off. Uh-oh. Okay, so we've got the numbers are in there. The number is 64. And so if Nate can confirm who the first person, because several people listed it, Nate can confirm the first person that entered it. We will confirm the winner. I'm trying to see who I see it, because there are a lot of you. Let's see. Yeah, chat is fast. So I definitely had to like reverse there and try and figure out. So I'm waiting for Nate to give me a confirmation of who he sees being the first person. And it looks like the mystery box goes to Dawn Schockweiler. So congratulations, Dawn. We had 35 boxes go out on your behalf for your fundraiser, and now you're going to get one for yourself. So Dawn gets the mystery box. So congratulations, Dawn. Thank you for picking that up. And I truly don't know what I do with my phone. All right, well, if the police show up, you'll know that I did something wrong. So, okay, next item out of the gate. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen a couple of items that I used that I promoted to promote the show tonight. And this is one of them. Admittedly, the picture wasn't as clear as it should have been because it ended up being a lot smaller and I didn't zoom in properly enough. But what we have on tap tonight is an Anusol hemorrhoidal suppository. It is a little vintage metal box. Let's see. Does it have a hinge? It's very small. It's very hard to open. It does not have a hinge. The lid itself comes out, so you can see it. I do not get to actually provide you the suppositories, but you've got this little box. You got the cover with the advertisement information on the front. On the back, it actually says it's a physician's sample. So I'm not exactly sure what this would have been, if this literally would have been just something that the pharmacy sales rep gave the physician to test for himself. I don't know. It's very small. I can't imagine many would have fit into this. And the print is also very small. It's keep in a cool place. I never figured out, I don't think I ever saw a date on it, but you can tell by the graphics, I'd say there's definitely some good age on this. There's a little bit of a condition issue on the very back corner. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. On the very back corner, it's been pressed in a little bit, which also, as a result, flaked some of the paint. So you can see some of the ink is flaked in there. I don't know if you can see it better from the inside. But so Thrifty is saying lots of doctors would and will give samples. Okay, I guess that makes sense, that this might have been like a tiny thing they would have had off to the side that they could have thrown, like if the patient was testing it for the first time. So you can kind of see there's that little bit of an indentation. So the metal hasn't been pierced or anything. It's just it's partially crushed because it's just a very lightweight, little tin. Little being the operative word, but it's a little tin and it's a little price. So the little tin is only $4. So $4 for the little suppository tin, $4 by giving me number 68. $4.68 for the little Anusol tin. And I'm very concerned why my phone won't turn back on. So let's see. Because we've got Dawn in the house, we've got another dog item. Let's see if it looks like we had a couple people trying to claim the little tin. Let's see who Nate saw as the first to claim that. But we do have, I'm not getting Nate's text, so I'm going to watch it. So, okay, so number 68 goes to, I just lost it, Old Stuff, Beth, Texas. Great. So thank you so much, Beth, for picking that up. All right, the next item, I don't think this is a Dachshund. I don't think. So we've got the expert in the house. So Dawn can tell me whether I am right or whether I'm wrong. Hi, Emancipation 300. I think this might be a Basset Hound, just based on the chest of it. I used to have a Basset, and when I got it, he was basically being promoted as having a chest to die for. He was a very bulky dog in the front. So this one has kind of a heavy chest. So Michelle from Mermaid Cove, hello Michelle, is saying it looks like one. And the Anti-Crystal is saying a beagle. I think the legs might be too short for a beagle, but I don't know, maybe I think beagles are taller than that. So it's definitely long. So like Dawn's saying, it's long and low. Could be a Doxy. The ears, I think, are kind of long, but not as long as my Bassets. So anyway, I think it's either onyx or it's alabaster. It's some sort of a stone. It has the black eyes. He's in great condition. There's still a point to his tail. There's a point to his nose. He's got no chips or cracks or anything in him. He's just a really cute, shelf sitter. If you love dogs in general, or if you've got a little low rider like a Doxy or a Basset, or maybe even a beagle, you could pick this up for your own collection. And he's $9. So $9 for the little onyx Doxy / Basset. And you get that by giving me number 13. $9, number 13 for the little, I think it's onyx Basset. All right. Another item that was promoted in my Instagram channel. Easter is a-coming. It doesn't feel like it right now because here in the Midwest, we've got some really harsh snow, sleet, wind, cold coming through. So spring can't come here fast enough. But I'm going to try and help it along and try and push some Easter. So we've got this plate, which probably, I would say, is probably not is not vintage. I bill this as Trusty's Vintage Live Sale, but sometimes I just have fun stuff. So this is a glass plate. Hopefully you can tell, you can see the glare you're getting off the glass. That has the metallic treatment to the back. So I think this is probably within around 10 years. You might be a little older than that, but I don't think this is it's certainly not going 20 years. I don't think this treatment was, anything older than maybe 90s at the earliest. It's an absolutely pristine condition. There are no chips, there's no cracks, there's no dings or anything in the glass. It's just a really sweet dish in the shape of an Easter egg. So the metallic is all in the back. There's the design is pressed into the back. But on the inside, the design is all flat. So you have just like a little candy dish or, whatever you want to use it for, even prop it up on a little stand and put it behind a little spring display, and prep for your Easter decor. It's a cool little dish. I liked it a lot. I picked it up for $8. So $8, I'm sorry, I picked it up for inexpensive. So I'm selling it for $8. So $8 for and it's like a silver color. It kind of comes through cream on the front, but it's really more of a silvery. $8 for the little glass egg, number 80. $8, number 80. And number 13, the Onyx dog, also went to Dawn Schunkweiler. So thank you, Dawn, for picking up, and you got something to add to your Doxy collection, because, you don't have enough real Dachshunds. You need to have a stone one sitting in your cabinet. So congratulations on picking that up. All right. Another item that shows up on my sales quite a bit, but is slowly dying off because I'm running out of them. And last week I thought I was out of them, and then I found more. So I think this is going to finish them off. So number 80, the glass dish, goes to For Sandy's Lilacs. So thank you, Sandy, for picking that up. But for those of you who watch my sale, you know what I'm talking about. I found more Wade Whimsies. So last week I thought I found all the ones I had left, and they were all loose. These I must have set aside at some point because these are still sealed in their original, the original packaging. Hi, Tim from over the years. Ma Dukes from over the years she's a big fan of Rose Tea, and that's where these originally came from. I don't know if she collects the actual figurines anymore, but there's these little small pottery, ceramic figurines. You can see right on the bottom, they all say Wade, England. These are still in their plastic. So you've got the brown cat. You've got and this is actually one I've never had before. This is actually a buffalo. So you've got a brown buffalo. And then you've got a sea green, like a sea turtle. So I had a big tortoise last week. This one's not as big. So this one is he's more riding a flat surface. The other one is kind of like, we decided he was Crush from Finding Nemo. This one is it's flat. So you've got a sea green turtle. So you've got 3 of these. So all 3 of them are sealed in the packaging. They are all animals. They're in great condition. Yep, Tim's saying Maduk does love these. So these are great. They're all, I don't know which series these are from. I'm not sure if the animals were always part of the calendar series. I've had some of the calendars, but you get 3 animals all sealed in their original packaging for $10. So $10 for the 3 Wade Whimsies by giving me number 63. $10, number 63 for the 3 Wade Whimsies. And let's see. Got to keep track of what I've got here. All right. Mixing things up a little bit. I always will have a lot of glass. I'll always have a lot of pottery, porcelain. I'm going to throw in some ephemera. But it's ephemera on pottery. So this is a collection. I picked this up. This actually came as a result of a auction lot. And so I actually have 3 of these. So this will be a case where if more than one person wants them, there are 3 available. So the first 3 to claim them will get them. So number 63, the Wade Whimsies, went to Beth at Old Stuff, Beth, Texas. So thank you, Beth, for picking up the Wade Whimsies. And like I said, I think that might be the last ones, unless I start giving away the one that I kept. I kept the one with the downturned, an elephant with a downturned nose, because I feel the trunk. No one ever wants trunks that go up. I want the impotent elephant. So these came in a auction lot. They are actually stamps. So it's a collection or a folder that came from England that has the history of pottery making in a little folder. So you've got the stamps themselves. So you got kind of the history. So you've got a little bit of the glare there. So you've got some redware. Looks like maybe some porcelain, a vase, another historic vase. I didn't look at the date. You can see they all have different dollar amounts. So 18 pence, 26. What was that one? 31 and 34. Not sure if this actually said what year these were issued. The quote is from 1969. Yeah, this is probably, I think this is from 1969. So it's got a nice little folder that the stamps come in, little explanation of manufacturing of pottery, some more images of pottery on the back, and then the information about the British Postal Service of where these came from. So it's Studio Pottery Royal Mail Mint stamps is what it says. And then all of them have all of the same stamps. They all have the same 4 stamps within them. So you get the little folder with the little Mylar folder for the stamps, plus a little plastic sleeve that they originally would have come from, I'm assuming. Some of the sleeves are a little cloudy, but I'm going to include them just because it keeps it nice and contained. Hey, Steve. So you've got an offer, one of these stamp sets for $4. Again, 3 of them are available. And if you want more than one, just put the number in, then put the number in again, and we will just let the first 3 people Nate sees. The first 3 people will be the first 3 that grab these 3 folders. So $4 for one of the pottery stamp folders by giving me number 20. $4, number 20 for the Studio Pottery British Mail, Royal Mail stamps. All right. Going to move into a bigger item. Get out of the way so I don't knock it over. This actually was an item that had been in my booth. It is a decent enough size that I had to have a box that this will ship nicely into without an issue. It is a cake. It's a cake stand with, if I spin it the right way, with a basket of strawberries sitting on it. It is made by Les Fruits Fine China. And well, actually, I'm not sure if the Les Fruits might just be the pattern. You can see it's got it in there. It's fine china. I actually think that says, does it say man or mum? No, it's a man. I think it's MANN. And then somebody just did, I think Moss Stone Story was doing a primer on doing Roman numerals. So altogether, what's the Roman numeral? That's 1981. So you've got a 1981 cake stand. In perfect condition, no chips, no cracks. I once had it in my booth for $15, and I'm selling it now for $8. So $8. I knocked the price down because I realize you are going to pay for shipping in this. It's not heavy. It's just going to be a bigger box. So just take that into consideration. Again, I'm shipping outside of Chicago. But it's a great condition. It's a great looking piece. And again, prepping for spring or maybe getting into summer, pull out your strawberry decor. $8 for the 1981 cake stand with the strawberry decor by giving me number 15. $8, number 15 for the cake stand. Hi, Diane and Dana. And I think I said hi to Sue. All right. So according to Nate, the stamp sets went to Michelle at Mermaid Cove. Halem. All right, can you clarify, Halem and Melody, you came in second and third. I don't think you want 2 sets. So verify if you want 2 sets or if Nate needs to figure out who was number 4. So let me know. You'll get at least the one. And if you want both, you can have both. You got them fair and square. But I feel like if you were both claiming for it, he said we had 6 bidders. So there is an underbidder if you only wanted 1. Okay, so Melody's saying she just wanted 1. So Nate, if you could go back into the claims for number 20 and figure out who came after Halem. So you had Michelle, Melody, and Halem. So figure out who number 4 was. And that is, yes, because Halem is Mr. Melody. So then the third one goes to Belinda Carroll. So thank you, Belinda, for also bidding. Sorry for the confusion, but I'm glad you're able to get that one. And then the cake pedestal goes to Carolyn Gadles. So thank you, Carol, for picking that. Picking up the cake stand. I really like that piece, and I was surprised it didn't sell. And the only reason it came out was because if you watched my sale before, we had to relabel all of our items or be charged. And I pulled it out because it was winter, and I just never relabeled it. So, all right, next item, still got another piece of porcelain. This is just a small decorative plate. It is a, I would say it's a Japanese piece. I couldn't swear that it's Nippon. It's not marked at all. But I do believe it is Japanese porcelain, and I believe the style of decoration also puts it into Japanese porcelain. It has the reticulated edge, the piercing all the way around. It's in great conditions. There's no cracks. There's no chips anywhere within any of the marks. It was designed to be a decorative plate because there are the holes put into it, which somebody decided to use it just seems like sewing thread. It's not filament or anything. They were using that to hang. That seemed unsafe. So, but you could put fishing filament or something. The kind of bird, that is an excellent question. So I'm just going to let you see very up close. He has a black tinge to him, but you can see he's not all black. He's like gray, but he has a black head. He has a blue just under his tail. So I'm not sure. I don't know if this is just a stylized, it's just a bird, or if that is a very specific type of bird. The fruit looks like a pomegranate, but I couldn't tell you what kind of tree a pomegranate grows on. So I don't know if that's just, it's with that the little tufting at the end of the fruit. I think that makes it a pomegranate fruit, but I don't know if what kind of bird that would be. So it's just that those are the colors. They're coming across pretty true to color. Bird, reticulated plate, simple little decorative piece. Again, not marked, but I think it's Japanese porcelain, and it's only $5. So $5 for the little bird plate. A starling, well, maybe. Couldn't even tell you what a starling looked like. So $5 by giving me number 89. $5, number 89, and that's my motto, Annie K. It's got a bird on it. So some people want specific birds. This one, I think you're just getting a bird. But you can see it's also got the paint in between the reticulations. It's a really nicely designed piece. I like that one. I like that one a lot. That was going to go into my booth and it just never got there. So, all right, next item. Oh, you know what? No, I ended up editing this out. I did a haul video or a shop with me video, and it got too long. So I edited this part out. I got these, and Katie's here, so she's going to know what this is. 89, the little bird plate went to Joan Rogers. So thank you, Joan, for picking up the miscellaneous bird plate. So I have a feeling that Katie will know exactly what this is, but you can also read. This one happens to be a Columbia Phonograph Company cylinder player. So this is an empty carton. You see, it's just the empty cardboard carton. What would have been sitting in there would have been, and I don't think they were metal. I think they were some sort of a composite material, because I've seen some that have been cracked. So I don't think they were metal, but they would be like a little bit smaller than a pop can. And don't pick on me for saying pop. I'm from Chicago, okay? So like a little bit smaller than a pop can. That would be what you would put into the phonograph, and that's what you would play. I don't know if it's spun or something spun on it. Katie would know better than I do. These happen to be empty, but they just have this great primitive look to them that would just look great in a display, or in a case of Katie's case, like if you've got a music collection, this is getting into the true history of the medium. I have another pair coming up, which are Edison. This one is from the Columbia Phonograph Company. Unfortunately, they all would have had the same packaging, but the label would be different, and then the label would actually tell you what song was on it. The label is damaged in such a way I have no idea what that says. So unfortunately, I don't know what this would have held. It comes into an issue later, and I'll share that with the other one. But you can see right on there that this one won the grand prize at the Paris Exposition of 1900. So this is probably from like the 1905, 1910. And they may have been wax, Beth. I never would have thought of that. I think they're sturdier than wax. So Katie's saying cool, but I'm sure she's seen these before. I actually have never held one of the canisters. So admittedly, I don't know what, but I've seen them. So anyway, this is simply, there's no music, nothing in it. You can't play it, but it would look great for any music collector, again, because you've just got this great age, and it would just look great in a music themed vignette. So this is the single Columbia phonograph piece, and it's $6. $6 for this Columbia phonograph canister by giving me number one. $6, number one. Okay, now I've got some pops coming up. Oh, Halem, I thought Pennsylvania would have been soda. I thought you were far enough east it was soda. Because I got picked on saying pop in Ohio. So I guess it's a little regional. So $6, number one for the little Columbia canister. I'll go ahead, because we had some interest in that one. I'm going to go ahead and do the other ones. I picked them all up at the same time. The other one is the Edison canisters. So, okay, so number one goes to Katie. So congratulations, Katie. So now this one is the Edison, which is probably a little bit better known. I'm selling a pair of them. This one is in absolutely fantastic condition. So you've got the photograph of Edison on the side. His were known as Edison gold molded records. So again, I don't know what the material would have been. You've got the kind of the summary of the business, and again on top would have been the name. You can see there's a little bit of information, like I can read the name Mary, but other than that, I could not, even under a magnifying glass, I could not figure out what the rest of that said. So this one's in great condition. This one is not in such a great condition. So I'm putting them in as a pair. It's still the Edison, but you can see the cover has been torn. It's been stained. But I still think there's collectability to it, because this one is the only one that you can see the song. And I'm not going to say that out loud because I don't want to offend anyone, and I just don't want to say it out loud. So this evidently is pulling from a very specific time in history. I'm not going to say that by itself is positive or negative. It is what it is. So this happened to be the music that was in there that was the name of the song. Unfortunately, it's the one that's not in very good condition. It does say the same on the top, so you could take the top of this one and put it on this one, but where it's clearest is here on the side. So I'm just going to sell them as a pair. But because the one's so much damage, I'm not really selling it for much more than I sold the single. So I sold the Columbia one was $6 all by itself. This one, you're going to get both of them, the good condition one and the poor condition one. You're getting the pair for $8. So $8 for the two Edison canisters by giving me number 35. $8, number 35 for the two Edison canisters, including the one that indicates the Southern song. All right. The next item, I don't know if Tim is still here. Probably not, but this will look familiar to Tim because they're his. So I picked these up from Tim in my trip with the Huckster Helper. Went out and visited Tim, and the intention had either been to sell these in my booth, which the kitchen stuff didn't sell very well. So then I was going to put this in. I was working with the macrame artist I sold a couple of her pieces on my live sale. I was going to put these into, have her design a little macrame piece specifically for these little cups. That was why I bought them. Unfortunately, that business did not work out. I didn't chase her down. And so I had the set of 4. Then I'm like, what am I going to do with them? And as typically happens to me, when I put things into storage and don't treat them well, I broke one of them. So I now have a set of 3. So I do still have the 4th one. Broke is a little bit of an exaggeration. It's really just but it has a chip, but it's right on the lip. So you certainly cannot use it to drink. If you were going to use it for decor or air plants or something, if you want the 4th one, I'll throw it in for free. But because it is now just a set of 3, these are in perfect condition. The 4th one is not. So I'm just selling these 3, and I'm just selling them for $6 for the set. So $2 a cup, which is, I think, what I paid Tim for them. But I paid $8 because I had 4 at the time. So you can get these 3. So you actually have the DNA of Tim right on there, and Ma Duke's history of theirs right in the set of 3 of these little. I'm going to assume those are tomatoes, maybe, on the sides. $6 for the set of 3 by giving me number 47. $6, number 47 for the set of 3. And it looks like number 35, the pair of Edison canisters, goes to Melody and Halem. So thank you very much for picking those up, Melody. Oh, so Cheryl Ross is saying that 1,000 grit sandpaper will smooth out a chip on the rim. Well, anyone who wants that 4th cup, I'm happy to send that. You can test that out, because that I did not know. So that is a good tip. I will definitely try to keep that in mind, Cheryl. In the past, I handle glass a lot, but I tend not to get the pieces with that kind of damage until I damage it myself. So, all right. So then going on to the next piece is another piece of porcelain. If I remember correctly, yes, this one had been in my booth. This is a Ronin 5 Germany porcelain plate. So it's got a stamp there on the back. That was not a name that I could find. It's just a little porcelain cake plate. So because it has the little handles on it is what makes it a cake plate. I don't think it makes it a very good cake plate, because the flat surfaces are actually relatively small. So probably more like a Petit Four presentation stand, or not a stand, but like a little piece for small cakes, cupcakes, or again, spring is coming. This on a stand behind a little floral vignette on a shelf or in your centerpiece of your table would look fantastic, because of this beautiful reticulation in the 2 handles. It's in perfect condition. There's no chips. There's no cracks. I do believe, based on that stamp, it is an older piece, so we're pushing we're pushing some age on this one. I would say probably from the 20s or 30s. Just a great plate, great piece. Did not sell in my booth at $7. I'm selling it here for $5. So $5 for the porcelain Ronin cake Petit Four plate. $5, number 82. $5.82 for the porcelain plate. So according to Nate, we have no takers on the little set of glasses, so those will go here in case anybody wants them later. All right. Hey, Rose, welcome back. Oh, and Barbie's here. Hey, Barb, thanks for coming in. Barb has a sale tomorrow night. I always try and announce the sales when I can remember them. So Barb at Winking Owl Antiques works with Jeffrey from Real Nifty Vintage. Their sale, and I want to say it's permanently changed now to 7:30 Eastern time on Jeffrey's channel, so Real Nifty Vintage. So I want to say they're now consistently at 7:30. So they run for 2.5 hours, and then Fatbird Finds does their flipping and sipping chat still at 10 Eastern. So thanks, Barb, for joining. And definitely you should be following Barb and following Jeffrey, but it's on Jeffrey's YouTube channels where you're going to find the sale. And looks like number 82, the cake plate went to Mary Cox. So thank you, Mary. So Mary, you might be somebody, I don't know if I know your name. So if you haven't purchased from me before, just make sure you send me an email to the email address on the screen with your shipping information. I will send you an invoice with appropriate shipping and then be able to invoice you properly. The next item, I had a whole stack of porcelain there in a row. The next one, we're getting back into my metal world. So this is a fairly large Chromex tray. It has the, I think once upon a time, these had a slightly different finish on them. I don't know if they were ever brass, but you can see it's a slightly different finish than the chrome that's in the tray itself. So you've got a 2-handled, fairly large tray. I should have measured it. I can measure it really quick. Not counting the handles, you are looking at a 13.5-inch Chromex tray. I did not try and polish out. There's definitely some surface scratches. I'm trying to show it in a way that you can see. There's definitely some surface scratches on there. This definitely is a vintage piece that showed some of its wear. But overall, it's in great condition. There's no bends. There's no dents. So nothing ever happened to the integrity of the tray itself. You just had, some scratches, either probably from being stored with other trays over the years, rubbing up against them. That did kind of mess up you can see a couple of the scratches in that surface. So I don't know if anyone's got any tricks for that. I don't know if Barkeeper's Friend would polish out some of those scratches or any other tricks like Cheryl had for the glass. But it's a great piece, and it will ship in one of the larger priority mailboxes, but it's not heavy, so it shouldn't be super expensive to ship. But keeping that into consideration of its size, it's only $7. So $7 for the 13.5-inch Chromex Chrome tray. And it does say Chromex on the back. I'm not making it up. There you go. Chromex, made in the USA. $7 for the Chromex tray, number 36. Hey, Kelly from Found Again. So glad you're joining the live chats again. Kelly also participated in the fundraiser for the Doxy Rescue. $7, number 36 for the Chromex tray. All right. Moving on to some glass. So this is one that popped up. I've had this for a while, and originally had been in my original booth, and then I never moved it to my current booth. And it is this glass dish. And actually, I remember it was Nate was one of the people that had originally seen this on my Instagram channel. That's like, holy cats, what is that? I want it. So it is a Kemple fish candy dish. I put up the tray because the tray also did not sell. It is a Kemple glass candy dish that unfortunately is missing its lid. So it's in the shape of a fish / sea monster, some sort of whale-like item that the lid, when you can see there is a rim here to the candy dish, the lid would sit on here, and there's a little bit of a mound, and then there's literally another fish that sits on top of this. To be perfectly honest, it looks weird because it's like this huge mouth of this fish, but the other fish is like lengthwise, so it's like the fish is trying to eat it whole sideways, not like it's trying to get it down his throat. So, but I never had I found it in a estate sale. I never had the top to it. At the time I bought it, I didn't know it had a top. So I think this does work all by itself as a standalone piece, but you just need to know it should have a lid. But I priced it recognizing it is missing part of it. So I'm only marking it for $8. So again, it's from Kemple glass. So you've got, again, some age on this. Absolutely great. An air plant, a really big air plant, would look like a whale, like shooting something out of his mouth. Not sure it's a whale though. I guess it does have a little wrapped tail, but regardless, $8 for the little Kemple fish dish. $8 by giving me number 96. $8.96 for the glass fish. All right. So no takers on the Chromex. All right, moving back to a piece of porcelain. This was actually given to me by a friend who wanted me to sell it on his behalf. We tried to do some research on it. These are beautifully done plates, and there are all kinds of designs of them. There are different artists, there are different manufacturers. We've struggled a little bit to figure this one out in particular. It does have the beehive mark on the back, which indicates it is probably Austrian. I couldn't figure out which manufacturer that specific beehive goes to, because there were a lot of offshoot manufacturers that were using the beehive as they were still legitimate manufacturers, but they were trying to trick people into saying, oh, we're high end because we have the beehive. So the fact there's no other information there, I'm not sure who the maker is. There's also some numbers on here that say 1026. I really have no idea. That could be October 1926, or it could be a mold number. Design wise, these would have been done around the teens and 20s. Her motif is much older than that. I'd say that's probably Regency era, if not like moving biblical. I'm not sure what's in her hair, kind of like a Wonder Woman headdress, so maybe not. But it's a really, really dark brown, chocolatey color with then the gold accents around it. And then you kind of got the mauvey chocolate brown behind her. And she herself is beautifully done. So you just have, it's a very attractive cabinet plate. That's all they were designed to be. She has, you can feel along her bodice. There's, you basically would be considered Moriage if it was Asian. There's a relief there. So this was never designed to be eaten off of. This was always designed to be a decorative cabinet plate. Again, absolutely gorgeous colors. Beautiful piece. Selling it on behalf of a friend for $15. So $15 for the beautifully designed woman cabinet plate. $15 by giving me number 19. $15, 19 for the cabinet plate. All right. Looked like 96 went to the Kempo glass dish, went to Michelle at Mermaid Cove. So hope all is well, Michelle. Hadn't seen you in a while, so great. I really appreciate you coming back to my sales and appreciate you picking up these items. I actually had a Wade mermaid for you at one point, but I missed you in the sales. So unfortunately that didn't stick around. But I hope you enjoy, not quite a mermaid, but a cool looking fish. And number 19, the cabinet plate, the Austrian cabinet plate went to D at Thrill of the Thrift. So thanks, D, for joining the sale. All right, the next item is set. Again, this is something that I had. This was in my booth when we had to re-tag. I took it out of my booth and had never reset it. It is a porcelain set. Let me show the whole thing. It is a porcelain set of ashtrays. So I'll show you the holder first, and I'll show you the ashtrays. They are a souvenir piece from Washington, D.C. Has the U.S. Capitol on one side. Actually, it has it on both sides. So Washington, D.C. has U.S. capitals on both sides. This is a capsco, C-A-P-S-C-O, which admittedly is not a name that I personally am familiar with, but it's got the original foil label showing they were made in Japan. So you've got some age on this one. It's got the little divot, set into it because the ashtrays themselves then sit down in there. So then the ashtrays have different designs. So you've got one with the White House. You've got one with the Washington Monument. You've got another. This is also showing the Capitol. Same image that was on the side of the holder. And then the Jefferson Memorial. So all of them have the little, places that you would, theoretically you'd be putting your cigarette. The gold is in, vintage condition. You can see on this one, that's pretty representative of how most of the gold looks, that it's there, but you can definitely see there's some brush, there's a little bit of loss from wear because these did stack on top of each other. But there are no chips, there are no cracks. So considering that these would have been lifted in and out of this repeatedly, they're in actually really good condition. So you just have this great, you've just got this great set of ashtrays. And I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Dana. No, nothing up there is for sale. So that's just eye candy. When you get sick of looking at me, you can look at everything up there. I won't say, you never say never, but most of those items, every once in a while, I might rotate out something nicer, to replace it. But these are really the nicest pieces I have. Probably the next one to go will be that one. That's my end of day piece, but I do kind of like it there. It's the ones in the bookcases that you really can't see. Those will probably end up getting sold as I find better pieces. But this one, actually, the little black and gold shaker style box, the little storage box, that actually came from the Antique Nomad. That actually came from George. I picked that up in one of his videos. So sorry, Dana. And Nate's eyeing the piece of pewter that's hanging out over on one of the sides. But for now, you don't get 19th century stoneware. You get 1960s ashtrays. So you don't have to use them as ashtrays. They can be little nut cups. They could be chopstick holders. They could just be themed. They're probably a little too small for coasters unless you're serving shot glasses. But it's just kind of a cool little set. I had it in my booth for $8. Didn't want to retag it, so I'm selling it here for $6. So $6 for the set of 4 coasters plus the holder from Capstone Japan, Capsco Japan. $6 by giving me number 42. $6, number 42 for the Washington D.C. themed holder. All right. Put that out of the way. All right, next item I've got. This one, I had to knock the price down. I thought I had a good price on it in the booth. I was selling it for $7. But as I discovered as things got set in the booth, this is a vintage, actually, I think it is vintage, Mary Engelbreit cookbook. When you put things like this in a booth, people don't care. And as they put it back, some of the cover that was once in pristine condition has torn a little bit. Luckily, the pages are still in great condition. And if you know Mary Engelbreit, you've got the cherry border. This is a very bright and colorful cookbook. It is the Mary Engelbreit Queen of the Kitchen cookbook. The Queen's Best Recipes, that's what it says on the back. And on the inside, it was once sold for $24.95. It was given as a gift for Valentine's Day in 1999. And it itself is a first edition from 1998. So you do have, if you didn't watch my deep dive on children's books, you can see there's the line of numbers there. Because the 1 still exists, it means this is the first edition. It also helps that right above it says it's the first edition, but it doesn't always do that. So if you see a 1, that means it's the first time it's being printed. If the 1 is missing and you only see the 2, it means it's the second edition. So this is the first edition. It is over 20 years old. Other than the cover and the signature inside, it is in great condition. So I'm just selling it for $5. So if you buy this by itself, this would count as media mail because it is educational. So $5 for the Mary Engelbreit cookbook, $5 by giving me number 23. $5, number 23 for the cookbook. And number 42, the ashtray set, went to Karen Dondelinger. Thanks, Karen. I didn't even see you join in. So thanks so much for joining us. And make sure you drop, and this goes for everybody. If you have live sales yourself, or if you are selling, Karen just set up her own resale business. Drop a link in the chat if you can. If there was some issue about who can or can't drop names, but mention if you've got a channel so that people can find you. I definitely want everyone to find each other. This is a social community. So number 23 goes to Ann Alvarez. So thank you, Anne. And so I think you are also a name that I'm not familiar with. So just make sure you send me an email. And if this ends up being the only thing you buy, again, it can go media mail. So it'll be super cheap to send. Media mail for something like this is probably like $3. Might be less. I didn't weigh it. But around $3. So thank you very much for picking that up. All right, next item. This is also something I put in one of my videos. If you've watched my channel historically, my entire process or my entire journey of selling vintage started with community theater. I miss it desperately. I can't wait for theaters to reopen. But literally, I started my resale business selling items that I had picked up for doing props and set dressing for community theater. This is one that I had picked up. I can't remember if this actually ended up in a show or if I just picked it up because I liked the looks of it. I do think it ended up being framed for a show, but I can't remember. But anyway, this is what playbills used to be like. So until Playbill came around and did the big yellow banner, these were designed specifically for the theater. So this was a promotional, this was the theater magazine for the Court Theater. And it says at the bottom that was on 48th Street, east of Broadway. So east of Broadway. So I guess we're still kind of in Midtown, but this is getting a little bit away from the downtown. I don't think the Court, I actually don't know if the Court still exists. But you can see it's from the, I'm sorry, I meant to look and I forgot to say, I want to say it's from the 30s. Can't remember if it gave a date for the show that they were doing, but you can tell by some of the art. I'm sorry, 20s, 1925. So you do have some color. So you've got the Turkish Murad, the Turkish cigarette. That's the ad that's on the back. So just like contemporary playbills, or at least the 70s and 80s, still advertising it, smoking. On the inside, you've got a, well, I don't actually know what that says, a Dear Kiss conceit at the fashionable shops. I guess they were smarter in the 20s. I don't even know what that means. So it's a gift of distinction is what it says at the top. And it looks like that's makeup, which in the 20s, I'm not sure how popular powder makeup was. But, you know, I guess that was when the flappers were rolling. So they're going to rouge their knees, and that's how they did it. The Dear Kiss. Now smart shops are showing a new and novel aid to beauty, a vanity bag in blue, black, or brown Morocco or tan ecrasé leather, containing the Dear Kiss 2 fold compact in matte gold finish and the lip rouge. There you go. And then Lydecker, I think, is the guy who did these drawings. He did a lot of menswear illustrations. This was for the, okay, so this is where the date came in. So this was something to do with the bank, April 1st, 1925, the Corn Exchange Bank. It's the magazine theater program. I can't figure out where it actually said what show they were doing. You got an auto strop razor. You got a woman in a negligee. So I think Vinny's on here. So there you go. It's not quite a pinup, but Evangeline Chocolates, a Steinway ad, Little Cigar. Okay, here we go. White Collars with Charles Ruggles, a new American comedy by Edith Ellis. So this is where the playbill portion of it came in. So it talks about what show you were actually seeing. But they use the same program basically each time, and it's these center pages that got changed to show the actual show. So anyway, it is 1925, effectively a playbill, but it's not a playbill, from the Court Theater. It does have, condition-wise, it's in pretty good condition. The pages are all pretty pristine, but you can kind of see there's this tiny bit there. It was creased at some point. I think somebody folded it at some point. So the art, like you really can't tell the center of the art, but if you look like right there along the edge, you can see there's kind of like where that crease was. So that limits it a little bit, but some of these, if you have the heart to tear it apart, would make some fantastic ads. So you've got the Court Theater playbill for $6. So $6 for the Court Theater historic 1925 playbill by giving me number 90. $6, number 90 for the 1925 playbill. All right. Again, if you followed me on Instagram, you would have seen this item. This was one of my favorite finds. I actually just found it recently, and I definitely wanted to make sure I offered it during the live sale. When I started looking for the comps on it, I discovered that what I found was actually even more special than I thought it was. So I will just say, I don't typically do this, but I will just say if you were to find this piece in eBay, there is a comp sold within the last 90 days where this sold for over $50, this exact piece. They also had the square version of it that had sold for $40. I'm not selling it for that much. I got a good deal on it. I had no intention of selling it for that high. Even the ones that sold did not know who made it. It is an aqua turquoise type color with these gold and aqua medallions. It's a slump glass piece. So it was a solid piece of pebbled glass. You can kind of see there's a finish there that started flat. There literally would have been a mold sitting underneath it. And when you heated up the glass high enough, it sank into the mold. So there is no mold line because you didn't have to open the mold. It literally just sat inside the mold. But that's what creates the design. The edges are all in great condition. Usually there's chips or something, marking them up. It's just in great shape. It's got the big medallion on the sides, and then you see all the way around the border. And hopefully you're kind of seeing that there's the gold accent, and then the blue is going in the middle of them. It does appear, well, it's not even appear. It is painted from the top. So I don't think this was ever used because there's no scratches, there's no wear, because the back, you wouldn't be able to paint through it because you wouldn't, the design would have that pebbled effect. But the inside is very, very smooth. So you've got this pebble finish on the back, the smooth finish on the middle, and it's just this aqua. They called it turquoise in the comp that I found. But I would say like more of an aqua turquoise color. It's just gorgeous. So it is, let me find my tape measure again. It is 12 3/4 by 5 3/4. So there's a decent size to it, but it's lightweight and it'll fit in a normal size box. One of the thin priority mail boxes. And it is a beautiful piece that I'm selling for $25. So half the price of what the last one sold for online. $25 for the mid-century modern aqua and gold medallion piece. $25 by giving me number 10. $25 number 10. And it looks like number 90, the playbill, went to Michelle at Mermaid Cove. So I can tuck that right into your other box. It won't even add any weight to get for you to get that. So thank you for picking that up, Michelle. All right. This one, again, we're kind of violating Trusty's vintage sale a little bit. But if you notice something that's been missing from the sale all night, I haven't had any coasters. So I had to find some coasters to sell. So the coasters, this ends up being a, who was this? No, not Horizon. So it's not Hallmark, it's Horizon. It's a 24 count of coasters. You can see there's a little label there. This is totally sealed. Still has a little hang tag for where it would have been hung in the store. I don't know where this would have been sold, but they are the fiberboard coasters because this is not particularly thick, and there's 24 coasters in here. So they're not paper, but they're like, if you've got my trusty Huckster mercantile coasters, they're a little bit thicker than that. So you can kind of see the thickness there. So they're not quite to the level of like the Pimpernel, but they're also not like super, super thin. So you just have, it's got all these different styles of cheeses on there, and they have them in different colors, yellow, pink, green, and red. So it's a set of coasters, and it's a set of coasters for $4. So 24 coasters in its original packaging for $4. So $4 for the coasters, and it is number 79. 79, $4 for the coaster. And that, Pam, that is what I'm trying to make the world do. I mean, if you're going to buy coasters, you should buy it for me. You think of a coaster, you should be thinking of me. I don't really have that much of an obsession, but it's kind of turned into one. And they're fun. And what's really nice is they're easy to ship. So these don't even break. So the cardboard coasters are even easier to ship. So yes, coasters are definitely always, they have, again, for those of you who have not joined my sale before, I did my very first live sale May 12th. I've had a live sale every week since then, with like one or two exceptions. And in every single sale I've always had at least one coaster or a set of coasters. So it wasn't intentional initially, it just happened. And then I realized, okay, now I have to make it happen. So there have been more than one time that I'm prepping for the sale and I look at the spread going, I don't have a coaster, and I have to find coasters to be able to sell. So, all right. The coasters, number 79 goes to my fellow coaster obsessor, Karen Dondelinger. She has a great collection of coasters herself, and should have known she actually likes those cardboard coasters. So I know Karen will be giving them a very good home. All right. Next item. This was one I almost, like, even right before the sale started, I almost pulled these out because I'm concerned that there's going to be, this will probably have to go to somebody in the Midwest because I want to be sensitive to how much it may cost to ship. It's a great set, a great pair of an open vegetable plate and a serving platter in the Sango Japan autumn gold pattern. Some people, when I was growing up, it was called the autumn harvest pattern or the gold harvest pattern. There's another version of this in silver or platinum. This is the gold. Most likely these are going to end up in Etsy, just offering them as replacements. I'd love to have you guys pick them up, and I'm going to make it a really good deal because I'm going to sell the pair of them because I'm going to be sensitive to the fact it could be expensive depending on where I have to ship them. I'm selling the pair of them for less than I will list one of them by themselves. So you get the pair, the oval vegetable bowl and the platter, and the platter is basically a little bit bigger than the vegetable bowl. You get the pair of them for $8. And if I list them on Etsy, I'll be listing each one probably for 15. So I'm just going to do $8. Hopefully we can work together on the shipping. So keep that in mind. This is China. Like this is going to have some weight to it. Between the two pieces, you're probably looking at probably about 3 pounds. So maybe the West Coast may not be picking these up unless you're really, you guys don't see I'm from Illinois. We see wheat all the time. So anyway, so depending on what you're looking for, I'm not trying to not sell it, but I am trying to be sensitive to it. So I'm only selling for $8, and I'm hoping it'll work out. Even if with the shipping, it still ends up being a good deal for you. And $8, you get both pieces by giving me number 32. $8.32 for both of the autumn gold harvest pieces. All right, now I got to move things because I'm running out of room. Did I already announce the last one? Yeah, 79 cents. Okay, so the next one, this is one, if you watched my, actually, I did actually just put this on the Instagram as well, but if you watched my live, I did a live haul video of all of the vintage games that I picked up. So this is one of them. What I did in the video that I posted for Instagram that I posted today, there was a theme that was posted by another reseller that I picked up, and I gave her credit for it. But it was, you listed the largest item you were selling, the smallest item you were selling, the cheapest item you were selling, etc. This fell into the largest category. It is not heavy in any way. This whole thing is under a pound. Once I add the box, it'll be over a pound, but it is not heavy. It is Tippet, the wackiest balancing game ever. And when I did this as the live sale or as the live haul, I'm not going to try and do the entire thing now, but I did actually pull all these pieces out. This game does not look like it was ever played, because when I tried to play it, it looked like the hardest game ever invented by man. Somebody told me in the live sale they had it, but I was not familiar with this. Somebody said they had it. All the pieces are in here. You're basically you put all the pieces together like you see down here. And then you have this very long, there's reverse camera, this very long rod that comes out of it that you have this dude that hangs at the top. And here's the little dude that hangs at the top. And he balances on that little platform. And then you literally are trying to put weights on the bottom to keep him from tipping over. It seemed ludicrously impossible, but I guess I'm just old. I don't know how to play the game. So it is available. Basically what I did for most of the vintage games, a few people bought them at the time. And what happened, people were saying, would you take $10? Maybe that's too little. I'm like, yeah, $10 is fine. So guess what? $10 is fine. So I'm going to sell Tippet, the wackiest balancing game ever. I can't remember if this one had a date on it. I think it did. Yeah, 1965 by the Ideal Toy Company. So 1965. Oh, somebody played it. Who just I said it? All in the Attic Treasures played that. Okay, there you go. So 1965. I was a child of the 70s. I did not recognize this. So by 1970, all the parents with the drugs wore off and realized, okay, we can't do this anymore. So $10. So $10 for the Tippet, the wackiest balancing game ever by Ideal. $10. I can Frankenbox two of the shoe boxes together from Priority Mail, so this will actually go up pretty easily. $10 by giving me number 7. $10, number 7 for Tippet, the wackiest balancing game ever. All right, and it looks like the China pieces, the serving pieces, went to Happy and Harned. And I recognize your name, Happy. I can't remember if I've sold you before. So hopefully you're somewhere that's cheap to ship. I can ship pretty good distance. Being in Chicago, I can ship pretty good distances and still be pretty cheap. Like I can ship to Pennsylvania really inexpensively. North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, and Texas start getting a little iffy. It starts getting pricey. Las Vegas and California are just freaking ridiculous. Yeah, it becomes a weird game that I've never mastered. We're sending it to Texas. So the number 7 goes to Celeste in San Antonio, Texas. So congratulations, Celeste. That one actually, again, it's not that big or heavy, so it will not cost much. But it's when you get into some of the others, we just have to take it into consideration. And you know, one person had to cancel a sale from the last, cancel an order from the last sale because it was going to the West Coast. It was more expensive than I thought it would be. She felt awful that, you know, but she didn't want to pay that much. I'm like, oh, totally. I get it. Again, we need to all be doing this together. So I don't want people buying things and then flaking on me because then it's just more work for me to figure out who else wanted it. But yeah, things happen. So don't ever be shy. And that probably goes with most of the resellers. Just talk to us and we'll try and work out what we can. So anyway, next piece, very lightweight, is I would say this probably does fall into vintage category because this is probably from the 90s, I would think 80s, 90s, because what it is and what it was originally sold to be was a potpourri bowl. What you can use it for now is simply a candy dish, a candle holder, because you've got the holes in the top. You could put a votive or a tea light candle in there, and it's still going to get oxygen enough to be able to breathe. And I'm trying to make sure all my springtime items get sold now. So you've got the little bunnies, and so you've got this little pewter top. You've got the one bunny who's kind of like clinging off to the side, and then another bunny who's sitting on a little platform. And again, with the openings, so that whether it's you put potpourri in there or just put a candle in there, you've got the openings to allow it. The lid is marked, and we get to see how blind I am. I forgot to look this up before. It is marked 1989, so I was not wrong. And it says, yeah, I have no idea. Clipper pewter. Cliffer? Something pewter. So it's a pewter top, but I can't tell the brand. The glass is in perfect condition. Even the lip, which now we know, Cheryl says you can use sandpaper, but you don't need it because the lip is in absolutely perfect condition, even considering that this pewter piece would have been sitting on and off of it. So it's just a cute little bowl. It's $5. $5 for the little glass dish with the pewter bunny top. $5. Give me number 6. $5, number 6 for the little bunny bowl. All right. Next item, we're going into a piece of Mexican pottery. So this one is signed Mexico. And it's got, I think that's a CDKB. Not 100% sure what those initials. Yes, Rebecca, I do use pirate ship. So what I'll do, so I will try and give you the best deal possible, but then in almost any case, I will ship it, unless it's under a pound, I will ship it priority mail because I can get discounts that will help making sure, particularly with the postal service being as bad as it's been, priority mail helps it a little bit. You might actually get it within a reasonable period of time. So this is a candlestick holder. It is a single candlestick holding, so there's still little remnants of the candle in there. I do not have the pair, I just have the one. It definitely is directional. It has a front that's decorated slightly differently from the back. It is in absolutely perfect condition. There's no chips, there's no cracks, there's no issues with it. It is there's a little bit of finish on the floral technique. So there's a glaze there where the rest of it is that pebbled pottery finish. So it's a more of a matte finish compared to the that. I do box and bag, Michelle. I've not always seen that has the hugest difference, but I will use it when it makes sense to do so. I will try and save money wherever I can. Sometimes though, it doesn't matter how, even if it's big enough, I don't get into the point of putting things in a garbage bag. I do have some pride in how my stuff looks. So in some cases, I have bubble wrap bags, bubble mailers that I'll put boxes inside of that. But the difference is not, I've not seen huge, even in pirate ship. But regardless, you've got the candlestick. And yeah, so MEX is the Mexico. I'm not sure if that CD is like Ciudad. Somebody was saying what this stood for. And somebody's talking about a good tip. So let me see who I lost the good tip from Sandy. If you use the intended candle holder, any other kind of glass, you're supposed to put about a tablespoon of water at the bottom so the glass doesn't crack. Oh, that is a good tip. And I think I've heard that. I think I've heard that. Particularly, you're also never supposed to leave them burning unattended unless there's water at the bottom. I've heard that as well. Okay, so we're not talking about the candlestick. We're talking about something else. But that's okay. So we've got the, I don't think, it's not marked. I think Tonala pieces are always marked Tonala. This is not marked. It doesn't have the signature of Ken Edwards, but it definitely has the style. But since I don't know to what extent which artist would have done this, because I don't know the initials, I'm just selling it for $8. So $8 for the Mexican Pottery candlestick holder, $8 by giving me number 5. $8, number 5. Thank you, less than 10. Like it's been a while since I don't know Spanish, but it's like, what did I learn somewhere along the way? $8, number 5 for the candlestick. All right. So that was that one. Let's see. The bunny bowl, number 6, went to JP. What about it? So that's another new name. So thank you so much, JP, for joining. Just make sure you send a email to my email address on the screen with your shipping information, and I will make sure I get that to you. And number 5, the candlestick is going to Angela Marksberry. So congratulations, Angela, for picking that up. And you know what? I'm sorry, Nate, what I missed who got number 10. So I need to go back into Nate's texts and see who got number 10. I'm sorry, number 10 went to JP. What about it too? So, okay. Sorry about that, JP. So JP, what about it? Got both the bunny bowl and the mid-century modern glass tray. So congratulations for both of those. So then the last item that I have for this evening before Trusty's Bargain Bin, it's back. So if you haven't been here before, Trusty's Bargain Bin, everything in it's $2. So this is the last item that before the bargain bin comes out, other than the 2 items that didn't sell behind me. So the glasses and the Chromex Tray. This was another item that I included in my Instagram post that was in my pile to be photographed for Etsy. I was just pulling stuff for the sale and decided to pull this. So I'm selling it here as a set on Etsy. I might sell it separately if it doesn't sell here, but these pieces are both obviously a matched pair. They are most likely from the 50s, possibly 60s. They are both marked with a Bavarian stamp of Alka Kunst, Bavaria. So you've got German porcelain, and you can see there's a little stamp just off there to the side that says, if I hold it in the right direction, made in Western Germany. So this is a pre-1990 piece where West Germany was still a thing. So you've got definitely some age to it. Like I would say just from the appearance and the imagery, these are probably from the 50s, but you have backup on the piece. Alka Kunst is a high-quality porcelain, high-grade Bavarian porcelain manufacturer. There are many pieces currently available as well as sold through eBay and through Etsy. I couldn't find this exact pattern, so I don't know what this pattern is called. It's a very cream white ground, so it's very pure porcelain. The handle on the ewer is gold. The base has a gold trim, and then the floral component is primarily got a gold accent on both the front and the back. The plate has the exact same motif, also in gold, with the gold trim going all the way around it. They're absolutely gorgeous. This is not, from best I can tell, this is not an underplate, although it could be used as one. When I took a photograph of it, I put this in a stand behind the ewer. It's just a beautiful pair. So whether you want it as a cabinet piece, if you want this in a vignette, it's a very high quality porcelain, again, 50s, 60s with that gold tone motif. Gorgeous pieces, gorgeous porcelain, and the pair I'm selling for 25 bucks. So $25 for the pair, both the ewer and the plate, square plate, $25 by giving me number 2. $25 number 2 for the pair of what did I just say? It was Elka Kunst Bavaria porcelain. All right, that is everything for the regular sale. And now we're going to pull out Trusty's bargain bin. Let me make sure I had all the other winners. So that one. Yep, everybody else I had marked. So it looks like just the last pieces of porcelain and then these 2 pieces are what did not sell. That is fine because these will definitely go onto Etsy, which is where they were going to go to begin with. But there you go. Okay. Bargain bin. I need to make room for the bargain bin. So again, everything in the bargain bin. This kind of started out the very first sale. It's Trusty's, Trusty Hucksters, Trusty's bargain bin. Everything's $2. So the only thing that'll change is it's still first come, first served, but now I'm going to be giving you letters. So change your keyboard back to letters so you can type in letters instead of numbers. Don't wait for the price because everything's going to be $2. I may say $2. I may not say $2. You're just going to have to watch for the letter. So we're going to go through these a little bit faster so we can finish in a decent amount of time tonight. Let Nate have the rest of the night off. So right out of the gate, this was also in one of the promotional videos. It is, again, everything's $2. This is a small teacup without saucer with the luster pattern with the little birds on it. I do not know what those birds are. They have very long tails, but they've got like a basket. I don't think they're pheasants, although that's what their tails look like. I don't think they're peacocks because I don't think that's what a peacock's head looks like. So I actually don't know what kind of birds these are, but it is a blue luster there is no luster glaze on the inside. The inside is just white. And there's really no luster in the white on the outside. The luster is all dedicated to the blue. So hopefully you can kind of see that. But that's got kind of like the pinkish glow over the luster just in the blue. And the handle is actually black. I don't know if that's normal or not, but you can see there's a black line also. So it's not there's some black in the design. It's just there's a black line that separates the two. It's $2. So $2 for the luster bird teacup, letter H. $2, letter H for the teacup. Next out of the bargain bin is, this is one of the first items I ever bought. It was before I started getting all uppity about damage. And because everyone talked about Pyrex. Pyrex this, Pyrex that. Everyone needs Pyrex. Pyrex is amazing. I still don't know what Pyrex to buy. So what I have is a Pyrex bowl. It is 473. It's the 1 quart. I don't know. I don't think this counts as a Cinderella bowl because both sides are the same size. So I think this is just a casserole. It has the brown ground with the gold accents to it. The damage is actually, sorry, that's probably really loud. The damage is in the lid. You can see there's a chip in the lid. So I'm selling this for $2. So $2 for this piece of Pyrex. It's not the most collectible piece, but it's a functional piece. If you don't want to pay for the lid to be shipped, because it'll add weight. If you don't want the damaged lid, that's fine. It'll go to Goodwill. If you want the lid, I think 1,000 grit sandpaper might not be enough for that one, Cheryl. If you want the lid, I'll include the lid. But no, I'm selling it for $2, Joni. So it won't cost you $2 if I have to ship it to Canada. So again, you got to deal with shipping. I'm just getting rid of it out of my inventory. Even when it was in the booth, I had it for $5 and it didn't sell. So I'm selling it for $2 for the Pyrex bowl. And you can have it by giving me letter R. $2, letter R for the bowl. And then just tell me whether in an email, don't put it in the text. I won't see it. In your email to me, just say whether you want the lid or not, because I don't care one way or another. But it's silly if you don't want the damaged lid. It's silly to pay for the freight to ship that up to you. So the H, the teacup, went to JP. What about it? So add that to your other shipment, and that probably will add like 0 weight because it's super lightweight. And looks like I'm finally getting rid of my Pyrex. Yay! And that's how I feel about it, because it literally was one of the first things I bought. I'm like, oh, Pyrex, I'm going to sell it. And then nobody bought it, and I felt shamed. So I'm finally getting rid of my Pyrex, even though I'm only selling it. I probably paid more than that, but even though I'm only selling it, I'm selling it for $2 to Sue, because the name just got cut off. So I need to look. Sue, SPIEZIO. Sue. So congratulations. And then again, just when you send me your email, because I don't think I've shipped to you, so just send me your shipping address. Again, just mention what you want to do with the lid. If you don't take it, it's going to be donated to Goodwill. All right. Next item. A while back, I had a large number of swizzle sticks. I did a deep dive with Rebecca from Kitschy and Bitchy for swizzle sticks. I've gotten rid of most of them, but what I had done to get rid of a lot of them was I was doing a grab bag where you got just a small collection of them for $2. I've got one left. So I've got one grab bag left. So $2. I'll show you. You get a couple cool ones and a couple plain ones. The coolest one is the little Ramada in dude. So you get this little swizzle stick with the little Ramada in dude. I had many of him, so I had a lot of extras that, for whatever reason, I had a ton of this guy. So this one is just going to be included, and then there's like a handful of others. It's a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a set of 6 swizzle sticks. Again, some of them not necessarily special, but one little Ramada man. 6 swizzle sticks, $2 for letter C. $2, letter C, for the set of swizzle sticks. So like I said, I did a whole bunch of those as grab bags, which are really popular. That's just, I had enough left to do one more grab bag. And speaking of bags, I had one other item that I don't think there's much age to this. I had picked it up, admittedly, at an estate sale that did not offer bags, and I didn't have any packing material. So I had to buy a bag. So I have the Elizabeth Taylor bag for it's done by Michaela Vubak, I think is the artist that designed that appearance. I found it online. It's definitely worth more than $2, but like I'm not going to put it on Etsy. I want to say it was for a perfume, and I thought there was something in here that actually said. No, I had another one. Now this one doesn't appear to have anything in it that says what it's for. So it's simply an Elizabeth Taylor tote bag. It does have the gusset in the bottom, so it does spread open a little bit. So it actually holds a pretty decent amount, but there's no zipper or anything. There's no closure. It's just a simple one-sided tote bag in perfect condition. No tears, no stains, no issues. $2. So $2 for the Elizabeth Taylor tote bag by giving me letter S. $2. Tote bag, letter S. And it looked like letter C went to, come on. Letter C went to Karen Donnellinger. So she gets the swizzle sticks. All right. Next out of the bin. This is had been, at once upon a time, had been in my booth. It's a simple cocktail glass promoting Louisiana. Admittedly, in the Chicago area, Louisiana, not that big of a deal. So you've got, plantation, you've got a steamboat, you've got some of the architecture of New Orleans, but it's not a New Orleans cup. It is a Louisiana. So you have a very lovely, absolutely perfect condition, no chips, no cracks, no issues, just a souvenir cup from Louisiana of a cocktail glass of what would that be, an old fashioned or a highball whiskey glass. $2. So $2 for the Louisiana cocktail glass for letter T. $2. Letter T for the Louisiana glass. $2. And it looks like a bunch of people wanted the bag. see if I can open Nate's note. So the tote bag went to Sue Spezio, and I'm sorry if I'm slaughtering that. So that I can wrap your Pyrex in the bag. Hey, we can just do double duty. So T is the cocktail glass. Next item is just a little rosewood porcelain. Well, it's a stand for a porcelain urn, figurine, whatever you want to say. You know, this, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know its age. There's no marking on this. You know, this might be something sold at Pier 1, or this might be something that was 50 years old. So it is just a simple little underplate or under stand for what would most likely be a Asian style urn or some sort of a pot. But you can put whatever you want on there. Hey, you could use it as a coaster if you really wanted to, although it is wood. So anyway, it's just a little stand. I picked it up with another piece that definitely did not deserve to, or did not belong on it. So I separated them out, and instead of trying to marry it with something else, I'm just going to sell it for $2 and let somebody else marry it to somebody else. So $2 for the little rosewood stand of unknown age and vintage, but in very good condition. $2 by giving me letter N. $2, letter N for the rosewood stand. All right. It looks like we had letter T, the Louisiana glass, went to Carol Gadels. So I'll add that to your other shipment. So thank you so much for picking that up, Carolyn. All right, next item is a small belt buckle. Again, indeterminate age, indeterminate maker. It is probably, maybe brass, but it's been patinated to be a little bit darker. It's in very good condition. I believe this would probably be a lady's belt because the size of this is relatively narrow compared to some of the other belt buckles I've carried. But it's all about Etsy is about the keyword searching. I don't even know what that pattern would be. I don't know what that type of manufacturing technique would be called with all the beading. It just wasn't worth it to try and figure out how to sell this online. So I'm selling it here for $2. So $2 for the belt buckle by giving me letter J. $2, letter J for the belt buckle. The next item is, again, kind of an oddball item that I want to make up for the fact that it may cost a little bit more to ship. It'll fit in a 12 by 12 box. It is, I've had a couple of these pieces before. I've had their teacups. I've had some serving pieces. This is the open bowl. It's not oval. It's a circular. It's from Salem, China. Godi prints. So you've got the Civil War era attire, ladies in the middle. The Godi prints collection is actually really cool because the different pieces actually all had different women and different dresses on many of the different pieces. So when you collected the pieces, you actually had, as opposed to like the same rows on every piece, you actually had something different on all of them. It's transferware. It is American China. It's stamped on the back. This one does say it's from Salem, made in the USA. It says right on there what the name of the print is, Godi Prints. It is a fairly collectible piece, but if it doesn't sell here, I'll probably list it on Etsy. But for now, I was able to pick up a collection of these relatively inexpensively, so I can pass this bowl on to you for $2. So $2 for the Godi Prints bowl from Salem. No chips, no cracks, and actually even the transferware is in really good condition. I've never heard of the Northern Star pattern, Vinny. I don't know what that one is. Salem did like a lot of different patterns, and I actually don't even know how, to be honest, I don't know how old this is. I don't know. Obviously, it's not Civil War era. I don't know when this print was done, but it is kind of cool. You can see some details on the edges. $2, letter F. $2, letter F for the Godi Prints round bowl. And let's see, letter J, the belt buckle, went to Michelle at Mermaid Cove. Thank you, Michelle, for picking that up. And it looks like I missed who got N, who got the stand. And went to Karen Dondelinger. So Karen, I can slip that in. That won't even add any weight to your shipment. And F, the Goatee prints are going to for Sandy's Lilacs. So congratulations, Sandy, for picking that up. And the last item, I've had several of these. And because I am going to be in the process of, I'm going to be shutting down my booth in February, I will have a lot of inventory coming out of that booth into my sales. This is the first of many that'll be coming out of my booth of these Daher tins. What's ironic about these Daher tins is that these are really what started on my Etsy store, because these work fantastically on community theater stages. From a distance, it looks like porcelain, but you can break it and it won't break, or you can drop it and it won't break. And trust me, I've done enough shows that I've learned that lesson. I did an entire set design for She Loves Me, which takes place in a perfume shop with glass perfume bottles that continue to break throughout the run of the show. I thought we were all going to die. So, you know, Daher tins are absolutely fantastic. Yeah, sorry, Barb. This is a bad time anyway. I'm paying almost $400 a month for my rent, and I didn't cover my rent last month. So at this point, I need to figure out what the right combination is. I need to be in a place that's more true vintage. You guys get a different view of it when I do my videos, because I only show you the vintage booths. Vintage represents about 10% of the mall. So the traffic that goes through the mall is not all vintage. And that hurts those of us that are trying to do just vintage. If I wanted to sell everything Magnolia Farms, I'd be great, but I don't want to do that. So anyway, so this is a Daher tin. I did a lot of research on these. Daher changed names in 1982. So by definition, anytime you see the Daher name, you're definitely in vintage territory, because it didn't exist after 1982. 1982 became the Tin Container Company. Very creative name. But so all of these, I ended up having probably about 2 dozen of these, literally. I probably have about maybe a dozen left. We'll see what ends up happening the last few weeks. But this is one that, for whatever reason, I know why this didn't make it to the booth. I had 2 identical ones picked up by mistake. I ended up with 2 identical ones. So one of these went to the booth. One of them stayed home. This is the piggy that stayed home. So I'm selling it for $2. So $2 for the Daher tin. Probably I paid more than that, but I need to clear out some inventory and make room for all the stuff coming out of my booth. So $2 for the Daher tin, letter K. $2, letter K, for the Daher tin. And that's it. I announced the Goatee prints went to for Sandy Lilac, so that was the last one. So unless anybody wants the Alka-Kunst Bavarian porcelain, the Chromex tray, or the little juice glasses, my night is done. So appreciate all of you joining me. I was hoping to finish in an hour and a half. Didn't make it. I'm a talker. Hey, Debbie, our Vagabond Travels. So I can't tell who got K, so I'll wait for Nate to say that. But thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate you hanging out. Hope you had some fun. Hope you learned maybe a few things as we were going. Letter K went to Happy and Harned, and so that will be shipped along with the 2 pieces of dinnerware that you picked up. So you're just going to have all kinds of serving pieces. So thank you so much for joining. If you have purchased from me and have not purchased from me before, or have not purchased recently, because I do recognize, sometimes I recognize names. Just if you could drop me an email with your current shipping information, let me know your real name against your YouTube name, because sometimes I can't figure that out. Just make sure I have your shipping address so I can invoice you. I typically take a day or 2 to get the invoices out. My goal is always to get them done by the end of the night on Saturday. I sometimes define night at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So if you don't have it by Sunday morning, it's definitely worth reaching out to me, because it should have been to you by now. And if it didn't, it might be lost in spam, or some filters just bounce it. It doesn't go in spam, but I don't know it didn't go through. So definitely reach out to me if you don't hear from me by Sunday morning. But I'll try and get invoices out tomorrow and Saturday, so I can start shipping everything. Sometimes I'll try and ship on Saturday if I can, or I'll ship everything on Monday. So appreciate y'all joining me. I'm pretty sure I didn't see anything saying she wasn't. Make sure you come back and join Nancy from This Overstuffed House. She will be doing her sale tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern, I think. Oh, now I always have to keep track of the Central versus Eastern. I want to say she's 11 p.m. Eastern. Might be 10. No, it's 11 p.m. Eastern. So she's tonight. Barb and Jeffrey are tomorrow night on Real Nifty Vintage. Fatbird Finds is after that. Make sure you catch that. Dee from Thrill of the Thrift was in here earlier. She does her sales on, I think, Saturdays. But follow Angela Marksbury, follow Vintage and Vinyl, watch for the calendars, support as many people as you can, even if you don't buy. You know, I refer to everybody in my chats as the Huckster Hecklers. Sometimes you'll live up to that. I'm talking to you, Vinny. And I love having you. I want you guys to have fun and love having you with me. So appreciate, hope you had fun tonight. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for putting your trust in Trusty Huckster. Bye-bye.